Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Rimworld. Give me just 1 minute to get into the game and we'll get things started here. Alright, so where did I leave off? Looks like we are in the middle of a heat wave, so temperatures are going to be much higher than normal. Looks like it's about 130 degrees Fahrenheit or 54 degrees Celsius. Uh, Outside, indoors, a few of these places are a little less. Um, Looks like the room with the passive cooler is much less. So maybe I should be building a few of those. Um, Interestingly enough, the room with the fire in it is colder than it is outdoors. Probably because it's partially underground, so like a lot of when you get close to this dark green areas, like up here or down here, um, and it's a separate room. The temperature tends to be cooler because it's inside a mountain and is uh, less likely to warm up quickly. So that could be why this top left room is as it is. What else are we doing? Again, this seems to be uh, not as it should be. This looks like it's two textures on top of each other. So like the original obelisk or monolith is sitting on top of the expanded version of it. Um, we might have to do something with this today. We'll see what we're doing here. Um, what else is going on? So Yoko's currently asleep. They're not in a good mood. Since they're tired and recreation deprived, I'm guessing they were returning from a trip out here. I'm guessing I went over to the garrison or maybe to Iron Ratkin. Looks like I am in the middle of building a road. Um, what else? Looks like we are currently out of food. So that again is probably because Yoko has just recently returned from a trip and hasn't had the opportunity to make any food. Who is our cooks? Just Yoko, Nezu, and Saburo. Saburo is still in the casket. We are uh, trying to find a way to cure them. Uh, I did add a few more things to the list and unchecked a lot of the ones that I had up here. So adding the extra room, I removed completely because we had done so. Defenses, again, I'm really only going to improve the defenses, I think, if I need them, or I guess if the base will look better that way, you know. This thing down here looks like the quest for it is complete. Let me see here. Work sites, maybe it's under historical. Impressive construction, 18 hours. Okay, so 18 hours ago, it looks like we have finished protecting this monument, so we no longer need it to be intact. We can tear this down. Let's actually add that. monument. Our crops are growing. We have healed rice, copper, or copper? You don't grow copper. Cotton. You grow cotton. Um, tea. Right. We have a bit of it, but I guess I let another one get planted. So we'll have more tea for that. Devil Strand, which is, we do have a little bit harvested. It's good for heat protection, and I think some clothing actually requires it. So like the order uniform and the military helmet that we've queued up here requires that. This thing I'm going to go ahead and uninstall because we have no power supply. Like we're still medieval. Although, if I remember correctly, yeah, we have the ability to start researching it, which I might do after whatever the current research is completed. And I suppose while I'm looking at this, I can go ahead and let things run at a slow pace. Okay, we were attacked recently, so this spoils in 1.9 days. So about half a day ago, looks like we may have been attacked by chimeras. This one's over here, getting devoured by the trees. So to butcher that, I think, yeah, this is the entity one. I have this set so that it only does it when I specifically tell it to, because I don't know what benefits the entity corpses might have. So I want to make sure that I don't automatically butcher them if they're worth something. I don't know. But something I probably should do is build some of these passive coolers in these rooms that we're going to be spending time in. So I don't know, maybe up here, probably down here. Snake is upset for some reason. What's going on, Snake? Oh, they have ready apparel. I've been trying to take care of that the entire time. Nezu also has some ratty apparel. Or tattered. Ratty. Oh, ratty is the next step down, I think. So whatever was tattered is now ratty. They ate food they don't like. They're sleeping in the heat. Well, that's going to happen in a heat wave, I suppose. They're in the dark. Suppose I could build a lantern down here. What else? Oh, they're hot because, again, it is a heat wave. They want human meat, as do all the cannibals in this colony. They observed a chimera, so... Okay, that gives a mood debuff. Interesting. So I have to be careful around chimeras because they make people unhappy. And they're in intense pain because they're the frontliner and they got scratched by a chimera. Well, you know what? We have this nice hot spring over here. Why don't you just go ahead and relax in there for a bit? I can use some recreation, sure. But I also know, like, the buff that you get from the hot spring modifies your comfortable temperature, so it increases the your maximum temperature and lowers the lower temperature. What's wrong with Elo here? They're ravenously hungry. Oh, well, Okay, if food is that important, can't cook, missing. It says we have 4 meals. Oh, there. Here, eat the food. Oh, you were gonna go eat pemmican. Okay, well, Snake didn't make it to the hot springs. Terrifying hallucinations. Vivid hallucinations swirl around Snake, twisting and distorting allies into horrifying abominations. She will flee from anyone she perceives as a threat. This happened because of poor mood. Final straw was intense pain. It looks like we have like a little ghostly image there, just hovering over them. So they're not going to be helpful in combat anytime soon. Sorry, Snake. I tried to help out, but apparently I was well, letting time pass without actually getting things accomplished. All right. Containment room is as good as we can currently make it. We have marble walls. We have a holding spot. We can't do anything more than a holding spot because entity containment requires circuitry as a tech before we can start researching it. And that's all the way over here, which is behind electricity. So yet again, another reason for us to start working our way into the modern age. And, well, I call it the modern age. It's the industrial era. Sorry. So, comparatively, compared to like medieval, I guess. All right, so Snake is going to be wandering around for a bit. Our hospital is the barest sense of the word. We have beds that are marked as medical inside a spare room. So, as good of a hospital as we can currently make, I guess. We don't have access to hospital beds or sterile materials. Again, those are all modern or industrial technologies. Starvation. Okay, come on. You're in the middle of eating. You can't be starving. I suppose it technically doesn't count until they're done eating. So, is that going to get taken care of? You're full. There we go. Okay. Heat stroke, Snake. Again, can't do anything about it for Snake. At the moment, they're wandering around. What else? Oh, we're, the hospital, I think, is currently as good as we can get it. So, I'm gonna keep that checked off. Visit neighbors, I unchecked again because, once again, I do want to make frequent trips out to the nearby settlements to do trading, to make our nearby, our neighbors friendly. Creature. Oh, you butchered the Chimera. Okay, cool. Chunks of a spacecraft have impacted nearby. So we can deconstruct these for various materials. A mod that I have added adds like various colored ship chunks. So the various ship chunk, or spaceship chunk continued mod is what it's called. So this one is blue. It can be deconstructed to give steel, plasteel, and components. So normal ship chunks only give steel and components. This one will probably have a bit of extra plasteel as well. I do have all of these out here as well from the space battle mini sessions ago. I'm going to go ahead and start telling them to deconstruct that since we are slowly working our way. Oops, didn't realize I was paused. Since we're slowly working our way into the industrial era. Rituals. So I want to try to keep up a little bit better on the corruption rituals. That way we don't get converted to other ideologies. We have a chance of getting a little bit of a mood boost. And I found out that by leading the corruption rituals, Yoko here is actually gaining social experience when they do that. So I guess that's the benefit of this. I'm, again, not convinced that it's all that great, but I took it because it seemed like it fit Anomaly. So, replace walls. As you can see, we're in the middle of upgrading the old flimsy wooden walls to the new and improved neo-concrete tiled roof walls because I think they look better. Of course, making it so walls aren't flammable is a good thing. Base looks amazing. Thank you. Also, welcome. Glad to have you here. As I'm saying, I'm currently in the middle of updating it from kind of a medieval, classical look to a more, well, I don't want to say modern quite yet, but maybe feudal. I don't know. Like we're right in the middle of going. Oh, what's wrong, Snape? Oh, fleeing from Nezu because you're seeing dark visions. Got it. We're in the middle of upgrading from some of this, partly because like I love the way it looks, like the old style kind of rustic feel, but a lot of these buildings only work with their own buildings. So like this kitchen stove only works with this wooden cupboard. This butcher table isn't getting the benefits from these kitchen cupboards like it's supposed to. So, and like I have some other foods that are queued up here, like onigiri, curry, and stuff like that, that just don't appear in this cooking menu. So I am just switching over to the standard stuff, or if I can find something that looks nice, I'll do that too. But I'm probably going to leave at least the kitchen stove here, just because I think it looks nice. It helps make the room look like a kitchen more than just the other stuff. Where am I? Oh, the Nezu book. So we have a writing table, and we had a pawn that arrived that was really good with their intellectual skill. So I think they had like a 17 or something like that. We had them write a book, and they finished it and still had time to start a second one. I want Nezu assigned to finishing that book because they are the one with the highest intellectual, and could probably, I assume that the intellectual stat will have an effect on how good the book is. And it looks cute. Well, thank you. I I like it. It kind of, I think, mixes well with like the Ratkin style. So um, each of these races, currently I have, yeah, each of them are a separate race. Each of them have like different styles to them. So I've been over this a little bit before. So the Ratkin here are mostly like medieval, but they do have some industrial sides to them. Um, so they kind of fit that scheme. The Kiddo here are mostly medieval as well, but again, this mod doesn't seem to work well with others, so I'm limiting my exposure to it, and I'll probably do a more in-depth one with like this race in particular, or a little more focused than my current modded Rimworld is. Um, so these are a bit medieval. The Kijin are definitely medieval as well. How many mods do I have installed? At the moment, I have 258 mods installed. So, um, a lot of them are the race mods. So, like the Kurin, uh, the Ratkin, the Rabi, Revia, the Kyoto, the Udon. Uh, each of the races is a different, at least one mod. I know it's quite a lot. Um, I do enjoy my heavily modded um, games, but the downside to it, of course, is I have to play this quickly before um, too many mods get updated and possibly have a conflict of some sort. Like when I start up the game, there is a lot of red text saying, "Hey, there's this error. We can't find the mod that is related to." It's possibly because I deleted the mod because it just didn't work properly when I was setting things up. So, you know, I want to make sure that I have a lot of things that I can interact with. I try to keep it balanced, but I also want to try new mods as well, especially since the uh, Anomaly came out. Obviously, that's going to be a turnover for how mods are going to be. So, since there's a new DLC, there's going to be new mods that are going to come into play because, now you have new creatures, new things that, are in play, and people have ideas for that. I'm already noticing that from updates in some of the mods I have, this advanced category has expanded. And so I don't know what is original and what is modded at the moment. Like, obviously, uh, this one looks modded because its outline is so much thicker than the rest of them. This one definitely seems like it's modded because it looks just like the Udon rabbit. So, you know, I think these two are definitely modded entities. The rest of them, maybe this one looks a little thicker as well. Um, but yeah, I this is the extent I have made it so far. So I've only discovered 6 entities. Um, I have not advanced the monolith at all, and in fact, it looks like it has returned to being a little bit of a crumbled monolith. I don't know why that happened, but I'm guessing at some point, like if I attune to it, it might uh, return to its former glory or something like that. So, In the meantime, it doesn't seem to be broken. We can still study it, things like that. How many days in this world? So it's the 7th of Jugust, 5501. So that puts us, looks like 81 days. So here's our current graph. Um, we had a couple of big spikes in our wealth. So one of these spikes, I don't remember which one, was when we found the ancient danger right up here. We had obtained a character here. Very good for 81 days. Well, thank you. And this character arrived, said they wanted to join our colony. Uh, they said they were very good at the occult. They have, in fact, the occultist trait. Um, they apparently have a 20 shooting and a 23 social. The 23 social is, in fact, lower than it should be because they are vulgar, which is giving them a -2. So apparently they're very good at talking. As you can see, I have added a mod so that that 20 is no longer the cap for traits. I intend for this game to go on as long as I can um, reasonably do so. I find that I'm probably going to end up, the game is probably going to end up being unrunnable because there's going to be a mod conflict long before I finish the game. Although I would like to finish the game. So, a little bit of conflict there. Um, but they joined us. There's unknown childhood and adulthood stuff. But shortly after they joined us, they began to have a crumbling mind. Like their mind started falling apart, and it was going to deteriorate within a matter of days. So when that started, we started looking all over for crypto sleep caskets because I know they exist in the ancient dangers. So we tried a little bit of digging over here. We did a little bit of digging over here. Healer mech serum works. That's yeah, exactly. And I think it states that right in here. Yeah, like a healer mech serum. But of course, I don't have access to one right now. My this is the extent of my research at the moment. We start off as a tribal start. And so, that was just out of our reach for the moment. So I had to start looking for an ancient danger since most of the map didn't look like it had an ancient danger showing. I had to start digging, and luckily I found one here. I have torn it apart by now. Start and to start from tribal start. It was a little rough to begin with, but again, it is modded, so some of these things may be a little better, a little bit worse. Like, I have things in here, like, where is it? The Kurin carbine. Somebody brought it with them, dropped it. I'm not going to use it until I know how to use guns, because I feel as a tribal or medieval at this point, we don't sure, we know how to use a crossbow, so guns aren't that much more difficult to figure out. But I don't know. I feel I'm not quite a high enough tech level to actually make use of such a weapon, so I'm just holding on to it for a moment until we have at least a decent tech to make me think that I can make use of it. Which, again, we are just about to dive into industrial tech, so yeah, it might not be that much longer. Um, Gunsmithing is over here, so well, maybe it might be a little further in than I thought. We'll need electricity, circuitry, machining, gunsmithing. It is a Kurin tech though, so let me see here. Kurin. So weapons, so like, okay, machining. Once I have machining, I think I could see myself using the guns. But until then, I am limiting myself to the Firelock, which is a flintlock type gun. Since it's from the Yunnan race, I feel like their technology is mostly medieval, so we are currently able to use that sort of thing. Um, so that's a little bit of what's going on. Um, we currently have them sleeping in a crypto sleep until we can find, a healer mech serum, which is what I was thinking of to begin with. So I've been slowly going from place to place, visiting neighbors, seeing what they have for sale. I don't know if they have a healer mech serum for sale, but they might. Some of these again are modded and have different like some of them might be spacers, some of them might be industrial. Like I don't think I included the spacer ones because I thought that they were a little too advanced. Can you pick up the crypto sleep? Yes. So one of the mods I have added is called um, minimize everything. So it basically makes in it like in this case I can only uninstall, but once I claim one, I can uninstall and reinstall things. Um, it does affect everything, so like technically I could uninstall this wall and reinstall it, but I am limiting myself to uh what I can do with that. So like um like if we go down here somewhere, do we have I may have oh, there's one. Like something like this large stell. I I would not uninstall this and reinstall it. Because I figure it's just too big of a thing to do so. We'd have to deconstruct it and rebuild something. Um, I could also go into the mod options and say, okay, it gives you the option of saying what you want to be able to be uninstalled and what can't be, but that's basically going through the entire list of items in the entire game, plus all the modded items. And I didn't want to do that, not just because it's so tedious, but also because I figure I am experiencing Anomaly for the first time. I don't want to be spoiled by some random item that I see that's in the mod list. So that is why I'm restricting myself to that. Um, Other than that, what else are we doing? Oh, there's an ancient complex nearby. So we had one of our where is it? Like one of our rituals. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was probably the Strong Festival or something like that. That we got a really good result uh, and found an ancient complex nearby, and I've just been letting it sit there. I should go visit it because, again, I think like a healer mech serum could spawn there just because the mech serums seem to be a random loot more than anything else, or a reward from a specific faction, that sort of thing. So I want to take a look at that complex, see what's there, hopefully find a mech serum, and get Saburo out so that they can help out. Because, again, another thing I don't really want to do is research. Where are they? Udon. Oh. Quest available. Let me pause a second. There we are. So I don't want to study their technology until I have somebody that we would technically have a need for their technology. So I was going to start in on this, and then they came down with the brain rot or whatever it is. So I didn't get to actually start researching that because I think we were still in the Neolithic era type stuff. So and it's a personal restriction. It's not like I have to restrict myself though, but I kind of feel like it feels right. But we got a quest here. Was lucky to get a quest for Healer Milk Serum. Awesome. I'm glad that it worked out for you. I hope that I can get the same thing or a similar thing, or I know it's not just a Healer Mech Serum because it alludes to other things such as a Healer Mech Serum. And the other thing is eventually I know I can make one because I saw in one of the mods. Here, let me just. I think it was Moyotech. Somewhere in here, one of their. Is it Deep Blue Synthesis? Yeah, here we are. Like they have a alternative to a Healer Mech Serum, so the Abyss Healer Mech Serum or Abyss Tech Healer Mech Serum, but that is Spacer Tech, which makes sense. So it would be a very long time before I get to that. It is also basically at the end of their tech tree. So, I know it is eventually something I can do, but I also know that at least the Abyss Pearls are a Moyo item as well, so I have no idea. What about Luciferium? I mean, I suppose Lucifer. Let me take a look at this. It's been a while since Luciferium might work, but this is Luciferium seems to me like it is a last-ditch effort. Just because once you use it, you basically have to use it or you die. And personally, I kind of have a strong adversity to drugs. So, and that's just me personally. Like no going back exactly. I just the way I was raised, don't do drugs, say no to drugs, that sort of thing. I don't really like. I've never been. I've never liked the idea of drugs. I know a lot of people nowadays are okay with marijuana, that sort of thing, because it's been legalized. But for me, that's still. I'm okay with you doing you, but I personally don't want it. And I kind of have that stance with everything. Even things like alcohol, caffeine. I don't drink much. I when I was young, I was like, okay, so what's the big deal with drinking? You know, uh, I got myself a bottle of, um, I want to say it was Root 100. So, a root beer schnapps of 100 proof. And just decided, once I was legal, of course, just decided, okay, I'm going to see what it's like to be drunk. And I drank, a good quarter of the bottle, which it was a 750. Um, so, what is that? Half a pint would be a quarter bottle. I can't remember. Anyway, uh, I may have gone overboard. I don't know. I was young. But I certainly didn't like the way I felt, even before I was, you know, really drunk. So I don't like it. I drink occasionally to be social. Um, Caffeine, I've never really experienced whether or not it affects me. How did it go? Well, I didn't get sick, but again, I didn't like the way I felt. Like, um, it felt like uh, I didn't have as much control over, uh, you know, um, like walking, standing, uh, manual dexterity, that sort of thing. I just didn't like it. Um, and so I've just never liked the idea of them to the point where, like, even uh, I don't really take like ibuprofen or anything like that unless like uh, I just can't stand it anymore, you know. Um, so I will just deal with the headaches. Sorry, didn't realize I was paused. Let's let them just do things on their own while I'm talking. Um, and that's just the way I feel about it. So, you know, a lot of the drugs in this game I am not going to use because it is not, um, not what I like. So, can I see? Yeah, so like a lot of this, beer, basically, if there's anything that has an addiction chance. So, beer, of course, is 1%. That's probably as low as it can go. Um, I'm probably not going to do because I don't want to deal with uh, a pawn that has an addiction, you know? So, if a lot of these things didn't have an addiction chance, only use drugs for combat and money. And yeah, that's another thing too. Like, I guess the flake and yayo and go juice, the basic things like that are really good for their combat bonuses. Consciousness plus 20, moving 50% is great, but um, then there's the addiction chance, which is 2.6%, and I don't want that. Uh, a lot of games also, you know, consider tea. Like, granted, this is Psychite tea, but I think that there was, I don't know if it's Vanilla Cooking Expanded or something like that, that adds a whole bunch of different things like coffee and tea and various other things that still have an addiction chance. So I just never use them. I would like to, but like I found a mod that Aaron's Hot Drinks is what this one is. It adds a few things like tea and coffee and a few others. There's actually a research tree here. So coffee and tea. I have hot chocolate, latte, and mocha. Uh, those things, at least the tea, I was looking in here, I was right by it. So the tea itself is non-addictive. There is no addiction chance to tea, so I have no problem with that. Coffee has caffeine. Oh, I guess the addiction chance can go less than 1%. But again, it has an addiction chance, so I'm not going to drink it. And, you know, there's a lot of things like that. A lot of new things that have been added, probably by Anomaly. A lot of this is, of course, modded content. So, like, the Morpha Blue, I know, is something, it's basically a Moyo enhanced Go Juice. So, again, probably not going to use that sort of thing. But when I do find the social drinks and whatnot, if I find them in a mod that don't give addiction chance, I do add it because I like the idea of them just having more to eat, to drink, that sort of thing, without consequences, just as flavor, you know, like the food I have currently queued up is onigiri, curry rice, zaru soba, that sort of stuff. There's no difference between curry rice and a fine meal. It's just flavor text, and I kind of feel that I like the flavor text a lot. So, um, as for other things, like, again, I'm currently switching things over at kind of going for a Japanese style theme just because it seems like what I've found was there's more complete theming for that at the moment than other things. It's why I added the what was this mod called? The Gloomy Furniture mod. So the Gloomy Furniture mod added a bunch of classic furniture. It all goes well together, and I like it. But it doesn't work with other things. Like, I think it works with base stuff, but it doesn't work with other mods. It's not open enough to work with other mods. So I'm using it for a bit, and then I'm kind of, as I'm advancing my technology, I'm advancing the style of my fort complex, whatever. I don't know what to call this. It's not quite a fortress. I mean, I have a wall surrounding it. And of course, I am taking a little bit of advantage of how the AI works. So I have not enclosed my my area completely. They can just walk right in, but that is, of course, where I defend. An odd thing that happens because of the minimize everything. Technically, when they enter and they decide to steal something, they could just walk right in, pick up my hot springs, and walk away with it because it can be uninstalled. And I kind of find that funny. Its value is 2,120, so, probably one of the most expensive things I have. Not sure. How much is a crypto sleep casket? Only 370. Okay. I thought they would be worth more. But yeah, currently swapping over to more of a Japanese style, but I might keep some things around, like over here. I've put a little teddy bear on on their dresser. I got a little replica flower pot. Don't mind the fact that it's made from human leather. Um, it's just what we happen to have around at the time. Uh, and in fact, uh, let me show you my ideology. So, this ideology chat helped me create the first session. So, just off of that explanation, you can kind of guess how things went. So, uh, we're cannibal ritualistic supremacists. Uh, we enjoy corruption, so that's the reason why we have the rituals. Of course, we're cannibals, so we prefer humanoid meat, but we haven't. We don't have refrigeration, so our humanoid meat doesn't last very long. So a lot of the colonists, of course, want human meat. We ate non-cannibal food because, well, we have vegetables to live off of at the moment. So it, I knew it was going to happen this way to begin with. Um, so, you know, I was willing to take the risk. Um, we have efficient void study. So studying the anomaly stuff is fast. Our research gets penalized as a result. These were things that had to be chosen. Um, a lot of things are loved or don't care. So, like, we love insect meat. Meat is meat to us, but we really like um, cannibalism, apparently. Um, Rituals are exalted. The funny thing is we're ritualists, but like half of our colony is psychically dull or deaf. So, we're not very good at it. I kind of view it as like we separate it like out in the world. We do have, of course, the cannibal faction. I kind of Before you say it, I have to know, have you unlocked most of the anomaly monsters? No. Uh, Here, let me... This is the codex. I have only encountered these 6 things. So everything else is a mystery to me. Um, of course, the Void Monolith was there right away. We got attacked several times by Shamblers. Uh, Once, I think, by a sight stealer, and then harbinger trees grew up nearby. Uh, but then we found somebody that had a harbinger tree seed for sale, and so we kind of moved the harbinger tree grove closer to us. So now they're right outside. I still don't know exactly uh, the extent of them. Like, there was one to begin with. Now there's 3, but they haven't done anything in a while. Genlocked. Some of the monsters before this run. No, this is my first anomaly run. So this is the extent of my knowledge. Um, so, like, whatever these squirmy, wiggling things are, I have no idea. The death pile was kind of interesting. It resurrected corpses all over the map. Um, but since we're tucked away in the corner, we didn't have to worry about it. They weren't, like, aggressive or anything like that. And nobody attacked us during that. So, it didn't do much. But I could see the dangers if other things were happening at the same time. Sight Stealer was kind of cool. You won't spoil it for. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, But, you know, if it's one of these advanced things, or even a basic one, it could happen, you know? The tree only eats corpses. Okay. So, I mean, it's a good thing. Um, uh, if nothing else, it's thematically appropriate, you know? We're cannibals. The trees eat meat. They are partially made of meat, so they're kind of cannibals as well. Uh, the initial grove was like right down here. Once I had the seed and planted this new grove, I did go down and chop these down just to see what we got from it. So we got wood, twisted meat, and I think some bioferrite, which again, uh, I can't really do much with this stuff yet because if we go into the anomaly research here, um, like circuitry is required or electricity in normal stuff. Tree only eats. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I read that already. But uh, like most of this research is restricted. Like the rituals we can do just fine. We haven't gotten very far in it. We've been doing as much research as possible, but we haven't captured anything. So we've only been able to research the monolith. Looks like we are almost able to perform a draw animal ritual, but like I can do extraction of bioferrite, but to what point? If you know the very next thing to do with it requires circuitry, and since this one requires containment, it also requires circuitry. So, you know, uh, a good I would want to say a good 50 to 60% I can't actually do anything with until I get industrial technology. So we've been kind of working toward that. That's the main reason why these two colonists are still here. Because there's just so much for us to do. I've had them kind of as the research slaves, even though they're not good at it. They are advancing technology while the main three I started with get the majority of things done. And again, Elo here is a keto, so I don't really want them in the colony too long, just because I've run into a few mod conflicts in testing what mods go together, and this mod conflict didn't arise until after I started. Otherwise, I would have removed it before I started this this playthrough. But like, I have a second game I'm playing with Anomaly disabled, so I don't spoil myself on anything. Where I'm just playtesting, making sure everything works correctly, trying to make sure that everything stays stable long enough for me to continue playing. So, you know, some of the conflicts didn't arise until after I had started. So I may be having this person leave when I have the opportunity, which might be soon. I don't know. Speaking of which, this person wants to join the colony after they lost their home in the disaster. She's been wandering alone for several seasons, has now arrived here. She hesitantly requests to join and promises to make a meaningful contribution. She claims to have nowhere else to go and is willing to contribute. Will not leave voluntarily, and you can choose to refuse her and send her away. However, your colonists may feel uneasy about sending away somebody in need. So I am going to send this one away only because they are Kyoto. Um, if it were one of the other races, I would consider it. Um, so I know a few of us are not happy about it. Tonight joining, it's only a -3. I think that is affecting everyone. Yeah. So we may be a cult of cannibals, but we're still unhappy that we refused somebody to join us. Snake will be in a work frenzy for the next few days. That's good. Um, what else? Oh, speaking of Snake, um, they are a um, what are they? Sorry, Revia. So, the Revia are a bit of a Kitsune type race. So they have multiple tails. Where are you, Snake? You're asleep at the moment. So Snake here currently has a status called Soul Reap 4. So this is in direct relation to the number of tails that she has. The more sacrifices she makes, the more powerful she becomes. So this normally starts at a 1 or a 2, I believe. But this person wandered in and joined us at a 4. I want to get some sacrifices for them to be able to advance their own strength as well. So right now they get a moving +10, manipulation +10, their hunger rate. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That might mean that they need more food for the +5%. The market value, of course, I guess, because they have beautiful tails, will go up as they get more powerful. And then they also reduce incoming damage by 5%, which I believe is in addition to the fact that they are tough. So they probably only take like 47% damage from attacks at the moment. So they're our frontliner. I did see earlier that we had a katana crafted, so we'll probably be giving them that very soon. Oh, they're awake. And the twisted meat is rotted away. Okay, that didn't last long. It seemed like it didn't last long. I suppose I've been talking for a good 2.5 days. Alright, so we're going to equip them with a Masterwork Katana as a sidearm. So this is because of a mod I've added. It's called Simple Sidearms. It allows you to equip both a ranged weapon and a melee weapon. So you use the ranged weapon when you're at range, and then you can switch. I think they do it automatically when they get into melee. The drawback, of course, is that they have to carry around an extra weapon. So, because they're carrying all the extra stuff, 15 of it is basically equipment. Excuse me, I'm having a bit of hiccups. But yeah, I want, oops, no, don't cross that off. I want to get some sacrifices for Snake here to make them stronger. That will, of course, I think, cut into our humanoid meat supply. I'm not sure if sacrificing will destroy a corpse or not. I think that was a change they made a long time ago because people were taking corpses, they were sacrificing them, which was beheading them, and then they were taking the body that was left and chopping it up into food. So I think it removes the excuse me, the corpse completely at this point. Um, and then, of course, this monument down here we have protected long enough. So I'm going to give the order to deconstruct it. The roof area we want to remove as well, so we don't drop it on our heads. And we'll take the floor out as well. Down here, I have a couple of fields being planted. So we have our heel root here, we have our rice here. The reason why they are booming is because of a genetic plant mod that has been added. So basically you start off with like your basic crop. So in this case, a tea shrub. Let me see. There aren't any nifty ones of those. Is there any of those? Okay, so occasionally you get a mutation. So this one that I've marked here has the trait of being winter. So if I were to cultivate this trait, then this plant would be able to survive as long as it's above 0. So it would have a better winter survivability. It won't die in the winter, that sort of thing. So what I would end up doing is I would set it to be, well, as it's currently selected, to be cloned, and then it gets put up into this workbench up here. At the workbench, it basically grows that new breed of plant. Once it's grown, we can then take clippings of it and basically grow the new type of crop. So what I've done with the rice is I found a booming rice plant, grew it in a table, planted that booming rice plant as a new crop, and then it got another booming trait. So I've kind of stacked it a few times, and so the normal rice that would grow over 3 days now grows in 1.23 days, so 1.25 days. So kind of is nifty. There are other traits as well. I think productive increases the amount that you can harvest. Winter, of course, lets it survive in the winter. I think there's one that's flexible, which allows you to plant them in less fertile soil. And there's a few others as well that I don't remember off the top of my head. So, of course, the drawback is not only do you have to randomly get that trait, but then you have to grow it at normal speed to be able to replant it. That's kind of why the rice is so good at the moment, is because rice grows so quickly. As for the other plants, as you can see, I've only gotten one booming type of heel root. The cotton, I've actually found a booming and winter, so I no longer have to worry about the cotton going away over the winter. Things like that. And I like it. I feel it's fairly balanced because it's not initially overpowered. You have to build it up as you go. And that is a bit of a running theme of this this mod pack is I start the characters at a basic level, and over time I increase them. So Yoko here is an immortal. If you are familiar with Highlander, that pretty much covers the type of immortality this is. So basically, if you are immortal, you cannot die unless you are decapitated. Um, so even if they, or I shouldn't say cannot die, they can die. They cannot permanently die unless they're decapitated. So, like, if they got shot through the heart or something, they would die, and then over time, however long it takes for the heart to regenerate, they would eventually get back up. Um, they would suffer a few minor penalties for like the first day or so, I think, and then they would be back to normal. But immortals can uh, gain immortality from other immortals. So, uh, previous sessions we had a couple of prisoners that were immortal. Uh, there's a small chance that any humanoid can become immortal. I've set it so that no mechanoids can be immortal. Animals have a low chance of being immortal as well. So, over time, Yoko has gone from being a lesser immortal, progressed through standard immortal, and has just, I think, within the last two sessions, obtained greater immortality. There are still levels above that as well, so, you know, um, I will eventually get them. So the benefits of this is the higher the immortality, the more they get a little bit of a faster regeneration. Visibly, they have more pain tolerance. So at first it was, I think, 90%, and then 50%, or maybe 75%. I can't remember. Basically, the higher immortality, the more pain threshold they have, which is, again, a double-sided sword. It means that they won't fall down as quickly, but they also will probably be killed rather than falling over. So it gets a little bit more dangerous. Um, these other two of my starting characters, I kind of made Nezu a bit of a lab rat. Um, so, uh, that explains some of their xenogenes. They have super clotting, so they don't have to worry about bleeding out. They are the intellectual and doctor, the medical person. So I kind of feel it fits. You don't want the doctor bleeding out. Um, and of course, as a test subject, they didn't want the genes being passed on to others. And they also made them psychically dull. Ugh, I'm having trouble saying that word. Psychically dull. There we are. And then just for fun, threw in foam spray because it's an experiment. Eco here. Um, can't remember. I didn't give them any xenogenes. Um, I made them like the combat specialist. So they have things like trigger happy and cover fire. Of course, I made them a cannibal, just like the other two, because we're a cannibal cult. Um, things like that. So they didn't get as much of like the nifty things, um, but in return they did get high shooting, high melee. I think that was because of this. Yeah, they got a +9 to both of those, and then a good hefty negatives to all the other things. Uh, Again, for fun, I gave them peerless immunity, so uh, they have a little bit of better healing, but I can never make them the cook because they will pretty much poison everything. So I don't know. I just did that for fun. Um, and then of course I'm trying to balance my own difficulty as I go, as you kind of have to do with modded stuff. Uh, right now, I am currently playing on Cassandra Classic. Um, I haven't really adjusted these too much. No children because I don't want children in the game. This is not real. I don't feel like this is the game to have children in. Um, but most of the other settings I've left standard. I think. Um, and if it doesn't increase difficulty too much, then of course I can always switch. There are, of course, many modded storytellers to choose from, one of which, uh, this one right here, I will probably switch to if the difficulty doesn't go up, because I would say that this guy is more difficult than Randy. Randy has a difficulty slider, so up to I think like 50% more to 50% easier. So, you know, kind of fitting his randomness. This guy just doubles everything. So, if one raid is supposed to spawn, two raids spawn. Uh, if one, uh, you know, if one like item drop is supposed to happen, then two will happen. So it is balanced in both ways, but the dangerous stuff will be uh, doubled basically. So I have options if it is too easy. A lot of storytellers must get. I thought about it, the void storyteller. Um, but I think the void storyteller would end my game. Like I do have some powerful things added into the game. Um, Let me see. Like um, so part of the problem is some of these mods don't take into account of where they should be placed in the tech tree. So they're just thrown in. You have them right off the bat. So I added a laser mod. So there are very powerful lasers that are added to the game. This Zeva faction is very powerful compared to the stuff that I currently have. So I will be trying to stay away from that if I can, even though some of these weapons are nifty. They do neat stuff. They like high fire rate, the low cooldown, that sort of thing. Um, Lasers I added in because I thought, hey, let's just have a new flashy effect type thing, because Rimworld is all about the inconsistency between like the tribal and the spacer tech. So I threw in lasers because why not? Uh, Again, growth weapons. Uh, I threw in because I wanted a weapon that would kind of grow as you use it. Again, following the theme. But these weapons are powerful. So, like, if I open this up, so they have a 90% accuracy across the board. Aiming time is fairly high, but that's fine. Um, uh, the damage is 25, but the thing is it doesn't list its range anywhere. But its range is a good, probably 25 tiles. I can't remember. Um, and it minimum, I believe, fires 4 shots, and then that gets upgraded up to like 10, I think. So, you know, I liked the idea of it, but playtesting, they are powerful. Like in my playtest, I equipped one of my pawns with a growth weapon, and they have been able to defend everything that has come at them ever since. So I will probably be staying away from them. The Void story teller again. I have watched videos of people playing with that storyteller. Uh, that would be a storyteller that I add when I am going for the high super ultra tech stuff. So, um, maybe another playthrough. It is in my list of mods to add if I want to. So, um, the biggest problem I have with adding mods though is like I think now there's like 11,000 mods to sift through for 1.5, and I only have so much time in a day that I can look for things. So, occasionally I'll just open it up, see what's new, see what's been updated recently. If it looks interesting, I'll add it. I'll play test it. But yeah, I definitely plan to do the Void Storyteller in the future. I'm trying not. I can't wait to see it. uh, it might be a short one. We'll see. We'll see. But in that playthrough, I also plan to do a lot of the. It was like some mod called something of the Cosmos or something like that. I think it changed its name though during one of the updates. But it basically takes research beyond beyond the normal. So the Johnson Tanaka drive and escaping the planet is the highest tech, kind of. This one took it past spacer tech, past ultra tech, which I think what this is. Yeah, this is ultra tech, and uh, into archotech or beyond it. I can't remember. So it was a lot of very high tech stuff. So in that run, I would definitely consider putting Void into play. But now this one is more of a. I, again, I try for balance. So a lot of these are medieval. I think this one is medieval over here. Some of them are, of course, tribal because you need the balance. We have. Where are they? Here. Here we are. The Shattered Empire, of course, is advanced. I think some of these others. This is Moyo, so a lot of theirs is Spacer Tech as well, or considered to be that. So, eventually they'll come after me because I'm not really paying attention too much to their to how they care for me. So like the Shattered Empire is down to a -12 at this point. I don't know what I did. Maybe it's just because I'm cannibals. Most of these are still neutral. The ones close to me, of course, are slightly above because I've traded with them. That sort of thing. Looks like we have removed the monument. Alright, what am I doing? I am upgrading my base. That's what I'm doing. Okay, we need to, I think, upgrade the rooms first. Get them expanding on this. I can't make this room much bigger, though. Most definitely because we're cannibals. Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna leave there. Well, this person has one little notch in the room. Let's just go ahead and mine this out a little bit. Cancel that one. So the rooms, so that just in case I get somebody that's jealous or something, they're not going to be too jealous of the other person's room. I am, of course, for the moment, staying away from the overhead mountain stuff because I don't need insects inside my base. I think over here, like this is covered by mountain, and down here is covered by mountain. So if there's any infestations, they should be in one of these two places. Probably in this one because it has the column. Actually, let me do something like this. So I want the insects over here. I used to have a colony of insects that started in the map over here. They protected me from a lot of the initial raids because coming in from the south, this is the only path through. Yeah, I've lost a little bit there. No longer inspired taming. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Well, it doesn't seem like we had too much in the area. We were having a heat wave when I started this session, so there weren't many animals in the area. But I think insects like to spawn near, like it has to be above a certain temperature, it has to be under, or at least the spawn point has to be under mountainous. And I think they prefer within a certain number of tiles of structures or something like that. I don't know if these count because I haven't claimed them, but the pillar I definitely made. So I'm going to put this down here, see if and when. I certainly expect it to eventually happen. See if some critters will spawn down here, and then we'll have a kind of a second line of defense. Of course, I still have nothing to prevent anything from coming in from the west. The best I have are the fields that I don't think I need anymore. What was I growing here? This was fiber corn. I was growing fiber corn to see if it was worthwhile. It doesn't seem like it. Like the amount of effort it takes to grow it. Fiber corn seems more like something you would do on one of those maps, like the tundra or desert, that sort of thing. So it was an experiment that didn't really work out. It grew a whole bunch, didn't get much wood from it, and we're almost out of wood again. So I should probably have them chop some trees down. Not these cherry trees, though. These cherry trees are kind of decorative. I have so much rice. I do. And that's partially because of the fact that these grow so quickly. It's why I've stopped making better rice plants. But like we don't have much meat, so with the fact that onigiri is the only thing that we're basically eating right now, this only uses rice. So I wanted to make sure. Research tree sowing and plant trees. That is true. I think... Oh, I'm already in the main research. It just didn't look right. I do have tree sowing. I don't have cocoa, though. So, like... I do have access to a lot of these trees. I actually want to try some of these other trees. So like the crabapple, the persimmon. These are added. Well, the Zen Garden added these four. Wait, Zen Garden Plus? Zen Garden Continued. Oh, I added a Zen Garden Plus that does something. I don't remember what this does off the top of my head. Um, but like, one thing I want to do is decorate around the hot springs. So over here in the decoration tab, I have like gravel and fine gravel that I can put in, hedges and stuff, borders, like Zen garden stuff. Basically, I want to see how this looks. Kind of make this central area more dedicated to hot springs than anything else, and because of that, uh, is the reason why I've added a mod to allow me to uh, allows me to basically package up steam geysers from wherever on the map and replace them wherever I want. I don't know if this is from the Minify Everything mod or not, but I wanted to make sure I could have a good spot and then add a hot springs to it. I know that there is a bit of the whole build where the resources are, that sort of thing. This is the one of the minor cheats that I allow myself to have. So I do apologize if it makes it seem like I could take advantage of this. I'm not going to build, 8 steam geysers all in here and use geothermal power. I might do one just because geothermal power is great. But I also know that there are other options for power as well. But that is far into the future. I don't even have electricity yet, so I could probably turn up the speed a little bit at this point. They seem to be not getting themselves into trouble at this point. And so I if I were to use it, okay, yeah. And again, that is part of the self-policing that I feel I have to do. I want to keep things balanced. My power never hit. We'll see. I might. I might use some of these things, like again the growth weapons, just to show them off. Just be like, hey, this is a cool thing that I could do, but I'm not going to. Uh, and just use it in a battle or something, just to see what it's like, cause it's fun. Um, and then go back to standard stuff. Um, I feel like I am okay battle wise anyway, because like all these pets that I have. So if I go into the pet tab, this is kind of a cute mod that I've added. This is the what is it? The insect girls. So each of these are a unique pet. Here, let me slow this down a little bit. They are fairly good models when they're walking away. It's hard to see what they look like when they're walking away. But, they have cute little designs, things like that. Each one is unique in their own way. Like, this is the close combat one. They don't have, excuse me, they don't have a ranged attack or anything like that. All the other ones do. This one is kind of the artillery one. Oh, it's pets. I thought it was mechs. Oh, okay. I mean, I do have plans for that as well. So again, Nezu here, they do look cute, and I like them. What got me to find this mod is there's another mod called Nuko, Nuko. It's basically a little cat-like maid. So it was made to be just a cute little pet that goes around cleaning stuff up, able to haul things, just like a normal pet, just with added cleaning to it. And they're pretty cute as well. But oh, Nezu's gotten food poisoning. They must have. They're not very good at cooking. They're at 3.99. They must have cooked a meal while I wasn't looking. I feel like a couple of these might not be good to eat, but we'll see. But the Nuko mod has not been updated for 1.5 yet, so I was looking forward to adding it. But unfortunately, modders take their time. They want to make sure that everything is stable before they update, or they need to find the time to hire somebody to code stuff for them, which is understandable. Food poisoning is the worst. It is. They're not going to be feeling good for a while. Going to be doing everything slowly. Well, it should be fine as long as not too many people get food poisoning. I do still allow them to cook because I do try to have them, as you can see, most of them do most of the work. So, I have everyone able to doctor, at least of the main three that I started with, to just to train up their skills. So, that way, no matter who falls, I have somebody that can temporarily take over, I guess, that sort of thing. But these insect girls were, I guess, somebody else's expansion on the Nuko mod. So they're kind of themed after the various different insects in Rimworld. Like, it doesn't look like that English is their native language or anything like that, or there might be their second or third language. So it is a little broken English, but it does seem like each one is based off of a different type of insect, like spellipedes, mega spiders, that sort of thing. And it was expanded with a mod called hardworking. So what the hardworking mod allowed them to do was they can normally clean, they can haul stuff. Other animals I don't think can clean. Oh, the research for the healing bath is done. All right, let's see what I want to research next. I do, like I said, I want to get into the industrial technology. And sorry for interrupting the explanation again. But, alright, let me have a look here. See what medieval technologies we have left. So we still have a lot over here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make use of a lot of this stuff. Again, I had like the idea of the Ratkin candy manufacturing, but I think, yeah, this is once again considered a drug and has an addiction chance. So unfortunately, I won't be doing that. But some of this stuff doesn't really look like I would be using it. The ballista I thought about, but then I did take a look at this. It only has a range of 40. Granted, that's a good range, but not for a artillery, I don't think. So I don't know. I might still play around with the ballista. Of course, there's a cannon, which has a little bit more range. So I maybe want to do that at some point. Again, this research tree I'm skipping. Kijin, I've mostly done what I want. Paralysis weapons, I might actually want to do. Because I've been having trouble capturing something to study. So any time the anomalies happen, so I'm just opening this up to remind myself of the names. So like the Sight Stealers, we've pretty much been, we dropped it, the one that attacked us in a few hits, so it's not very strong. There's a possibility that it could have survived, but it didn't. Shamblers seem like there really isn't a way to capture them without stunning or something like that. Chimera, again, same problem. Once they're damaged, they use an ability that gives that makes their pain tolerance times 0%, so they don't fall over until they're dead. So paralyzing one of them might be something I want to do. Granted, I only have a containment strength of 73. I have no idea if that's good, if that's bad. You can down Shamblers? Okay. I guess I just haven't been successful at it yet. Thank you for that. Very low chance. Okay. But they do have numbers to their advantage. So next time it happens, I will try it again. In that case, I won't worry about the weapons at the moment. 70 is good? Okay, cool. Thank you. Kurin. Oh. There's the second food poisoning. How's Nezu doing on theirs? Oh, they're at the major stage, so they should be recovering shortly. Actually, minimum for Sight Stealer or Shambler is 40 containment strength. Okay. I may have read that back when I first encountered them, but I've forgotten since then. I am going to have Nezu use the hot spring. So they will use the hot spring on their own for recreation, but for medicinal purposes, I have to tell them to. So once Nezu gets in here, there's another food poisoning. So here we are, relaxing a hot spring. So this ups their blood filtration, blood pumping, digestion by quite a bit. It adds comfortable temperatures, so and they're able to be out here as long as they want. And that's the relaxing in hot spring. Where did Snake go? There we are. Snake here has relaxed in the hot spring. So this gives basically half the bonuses for a little bit longer. And with the healing bath research that we just did, that should also add like healing properties. So it might help cure the food poisoning. I don't know about this in particular. I know it helps with physical injuries. It helps with, I want to say scarring. I'm not sure about that though. I'll have to see next time one of my colonists get a scar. But I think it might help with that. Research, that's what I was doing. So, as you can see, I don't have a research assigned, yet they're still researching. I have added a mod that allows them to just do basic generic research. So up at the top left up here, you can see my research pool is increasing, but it is going at a very slow rate. I also have research reinvented, so if I go back to what's a good one? Let me find something to research first before I go on explaining this. Stat upgrades. Oh, right. I had forgotten I'd added this mod. This allows me to basically research minor little upgrades. Again, following the theme of we start out at a basic point and we kind of find ways to improve ourselves over time. So that's why I added this. I thought it was okay. Oops. I didn't select it yet. So I feel a 5% bonus isn't going to make that much of a difference. It's just a little bit of an upgrade as we go. Lunar technology is the Rabby tech, and looks like circuitry and machining is the basics for that, so I can't do that. Revian stuff, actually, I do have one of them in the colony, so let me actually do this. So with the 95 points, you can see it's already starting to fill in the research. So once I do that, it automatically fills that in. That's no longer required to research. And then the research just starts filling in as normal. The Research Reinvented, I really like this mod. It gives you more options than just sitting at the table doing research. So normally you sit at the table doing research. In this case, I think, do I have... I do not. I was looking to see if I had some of these blood runes or some. Show your anomaly research? Sure. This is what I've researched so far. I've only had the monolith to study at the moment, so I have not been able to do much. Almost done with being able to draw animals. I could provoke some anomalies, which, you know, once I'm back out of this, I will add that to the things I want to do today. I want to provoke another void anomaly. I feel it's been long enough since the last one that we can do a little bit of advancement, because I still need to find 2 more of the basic anomalies before I can advance the monolith. So, as you can see, not much done. We have discovered a few things, like the Juggernaut serum when the Chimeras attacked. But again, most of this bottom stuff, I don't have a highlight box in the screen. But basically, anything after bioferret shaping, anything after entity containment, I can't really research yet until I get to circuitry, which is why I want to do a little bit of the better research. But let me add provoke entity. So we'll add that to the list of things to do. It's down a little bit. Oh, right. And then because there's a little bit of a mod conflict, instead of just deconstructing, they are minimizing these things. These used to be the old walls that were in place. So, not too big of a deal. You just need to deconstruct it. We'll add in some of these doors. And it looks like they have mined out the walls. I don't know if I want to have just granite walls as the back wall. I'm running into the same problem up here. This is all sandstone. I should do something with that. I don't know if I should polish it or if I should find some wall that I like that will go there. The reason why I don't use the tiled roof walls on the back side is because it treats each one of these as multiple connections, so from the left, the right, and above. So it puts this kind of thing on it, and that doesn't really look good when it's everywhere. It's okay on the corners, but it doesn't look as nice being a full wall like that. So I need to find a wall that looks good. I mean, it's probably just going to be a normal wall made of maybe marble, just straight white bricks. Yeah, the roof part kind of does a weird overlapping thing that doesn't look great. Yeah, so I like the tiled roof walls because it adds a little bit of a roof to it, kind of giving it a tiled roof. I guess I don't have better words for it. Whereas the normal wooden wall just kind of stops once you reach the top. There's no decoration or that sort of thing. So, you know, I'm probably going to do something with the back wall. I mean, a normal marble wall looks like it would... I mean, this looks like it's marble, so it might fit in. The white brick will maybe look nice in the back. Yeah, oh, someone is having a bad day. What's going on? Where are you? Why are you in intense pain? Oh, right, food poisoning. Okay, forgot about that. And they're hungry and they want human meat. Yeah, that would do it. All right, well, eat what you can. These two just aren't doing all that well. But yeah, I want to do something with this back wall. And is this marble? This is marble. Did Ezu make more? Have you increased your cooking? You have not. I wonder if Yoko just managed to make a bad batch of food. Because at this point, they've eaten more than the more than the 4 meals that were there, and Nezu has not increased from the 3.99 that they were at. So, I think this is just a bad batch of food. Unfortunately. So, a few of the colonists are just gonna have to deal with it at this point. But yeah, the marble, I mean, there is a slight difference, but it doesn't seem too big of a difference. As you can see, the marble, the granite, sandstone are different colors than they normally would be. I did add a mod that kind of accentuated their individual colors, making them a little more vibrant, making them a little more toward what they would look like normally. Because I think like the Rimworld version, the marble is a little bit yellower. I can't remember what they look like. This is just one of the mods I always add in. I make the rock colors slightly different. Just because I like the way it looks. I am all about visualization sometimes when I can do it. Over here, you're adding in the doors. And actually, because this containment room has the marble wall up here, that would pretty much go well with the rest of this. So in that case, I'm gonna have to queue up some marble. So let's make some marble blocks. We're gonna have to, of course, go get some more. We're only gonna leave it at a do X times. Maybe 5 times. See how much that gets us. Let's haul in some of this marble, though. Wanderer joins. Another person wants to join us. A Kurin opera actor named Dotori has arrived and wants to join the colony. He is willing to contribute, but will not leave voluntarily, claiming to have nowhere else to go. You can choose to turn him away, or turn him down and send him away. However, will be disturbed. I'll accept for now, but I might not keep them around. So people arrive. Let's have a look. Before I do too much, let me just copy this. Nope. Copy. Oops. No. Copy, paste, paste. I think these were slightly different. Oh well. But I don't want them doing too much of the stuff that they may not be good at. But let's take a look at them. First of all, they are equipped with a lot of the standard Kurin equipment. Again, Kurin are an industrial race, so you've got your shotgun, you've got your modern clothing, I guess. They're bringing some of their own food and medicine, which is good. Um, might unequip the shotgun. We'll see. Again, we're getting close to the point where we're okay with that sort of stuff. Look at all the traits on this one. They were a lonely child. They're an opera actor. So they're really good at art. They're really good at, or they have a passion for mining. They're okay at it. A high intellectual. That's pretty good. Good social, good medical. They're an artist, so their learning factor in labor is up. They're a miner, as in mining, not a young person. So their mining speed and yield is up. That's nice. Rock and stone really works well as well. So they're even though they have a 6 in mining, they are really good at mining with these two. They I might actually be keeping this person in the colony. They're bisexual, which is just fine. Like they're Kurin-like. All Kurin have this trait, so they're better intellectual, worse at animals. They're beautiful and they are good at getting good prices. uh, they are furious. This seems to have been appearing on all the Kurin as well. I didn't know that was the case, otherwise I probably would have added it to Yoko when I was creating them. They are of a radicalized kind of Kurin. Their thirst for revenge and hatred for the offenders of Kurin kind is unyielding, unending. Their certainly loss factor is at 50%. So they might be a little difficult to convert over. And the Kurin do have a bit of a backstory. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Like, they are a genetically created race. I think initially meant for servitude. I can't remember exactly though. So that's I guess why they have this one. They are a night owl, which is fine with me. I know night owl tends to get upset during the day. If I go over to their needs, they're probably already upset. Nope, it is actually midnight at the moment, so they should be fine. And they're pretty, so good colonist all around. Their needs, night owl at night gives them a 16. Wow, that makes me worried about what it's going to be during the day. Due to their ideology, they've had a recent conquest, yielding weapons noble and despised. Let me take a look at this. Oh, wow. They are fairly similar to our colony. So that supremacist and camel works really well. They're a raider rather than a cultist, but that's fine. So they're probably going to get a few things. Yeah, like corpses, they don't care. Megaliths? I didn't see this as a choice for me. But okay, they want megaliths. A lot of this is going to change over to mine, of course, once I convert them. They have a few rituals very similar to what we have. So party, a dual rum burial? A gathering to turn our friends into delicious rum. What is this? Apparently you can make rum with the people. I mean, if rum was something I allow, and I'll have a look at it in the drugs tab, if it's not addictive, then this would fit in with us as cannibals, making a drink out of people. then just buildings, they have their own relics. This is what I was looking at. So they have preferences on which weapons they should or should not be using. So they want short-range weapons, not long-range weapons. So they have a shotgun, which is a short range. So if they had a sniper rifle, they wouldn't like it as much. Okay. So I'll probably let her at least hold on to the shotgun for the time being because it's making her happy. Or, I'm sorry, him. I've been saying her this entire time. It is him. Um, the Kurin used to be an entirely female race, so I don't know when the males were added. Of course, some of these negatives aren't. They need to be changed because, I mean, led by a cultist, that's me. We don't have slaves. We don't need them. No execution. Well, you weren't here early enough for that. And they desire megalith. So, where do I even build a megalith? Recreation? Megalith. I have no idea. Maybe it's a technology I don't know. Or it might be an ideology thing. But some of those are restricted behind ideologies as well. But for the moment, it seems like I might be keeping them in the colony. As with the rest of my colony, I don't feel I need to tell them to have a certain schedule. They can do what they want. What to wear? I'm going to restrict you to Kurin clothing. Actually going to say no drugs for everyone. Save our good medicine just in case. Nezu is a doctor, so they should probably carry more of this. And everyone should at least carry one. If for nothing else than to, pick off their body as we're trying to heal them up. My main three are currently set to no medicine because one is immortal, one automatically tends to their wounds, and Nico is a long-range specialist, so they don't get hurt all that often. The others, they get medicine because I don't know them very well yet. Is that all I need to set? So I've set this stuff. You are good at mining, so I will set them as someone that can do mining. And actually, Nico currently has a mining pick that I'm going to drop. And then you can equip it as a sidearm. So again, if they decide to do mining, they'll use the pickaxe. The pickaxe actually improves the mining yield even further and mining speed just a little bit. So next time I need to start, digging out some of the steel or the silver. What is their name? Dotori? So, maybe I'll get them to do some of that. Actually, let's test it out. Let's see how good they are at mining. So if I just say mine that one little piece right there. What are they doing? They're working on the hauling aspect of our stuff. There we go. Speed things up. I'm just curious as to how much they're going to get. I believe standard is... Hold on. I see that, Nezu. Don't pretend like you're just crafting away at your helmet over here. You cook some food. Let's not drop this on the floor though. Let's take it to the best stockpile. That way they can actually check the stockpile before making more food. Anyway, so I believe normal, that was a 76. Normal amount that you would average get is like 40, I believe. Like when neutral characters, like the insects, break through steel and stuff, they usually drop 40. So that's a pretty good increase, almost double. Alright, research finished. Revian religious ceremonies. Learn the fundamentals of giving proper offerings to the Revian gods. And that now unlocks blood runes, lesser and greater blood runes, and a blood sigil. So I now have a place that I can start sacrificing people at other than just your default sacrifice spot. Blood benedictions, that looks like it's a drug of some sort. 100% addiction chance, no thank you. Well, that sounds like a alternate Luciferium or something. And then their equipment, eviscerators, throwing knives. I'm almost out of medieval. Well, no, I'm not. I have a long way to go before I'm out of medieval, but I don't know how many of these weapons I'm going to actually manufacture. So until I actually want a weapon, I think I'll leave it alone, because like the eviscerator just kind of sounds like a knife of some sort. Maybe it's a little higher on damage, maybe a little higher armor penetration, but it also requires pale stones, so I don't know what that is. Probably something they get through sacrificing. That was... Sorry, there's so many tabs, I don't... There it is, Revia. Road building. That's something I want. So, out here, I kind of showed this off last episode as well. I can build roads. So, at the moment, we're currently working on a road from home out to the nearest stone road. It is taking some time, probably because I'm not actually sending anyone out to work on it at the moment. But that will help us get to other places a little bit faster. Once everyone has recovered from food poisoning, I might actually send a few of these out to do stuff. Ravenously hungry. Well, go eat. I suppose they're ravenously hungry because of the food poisoning, though. Let's move this person over one. It's because Saburo is incapable of doing anything at the moment. Tattered apparel. What is tattered on Nezu at the moment? So we did make new glasses for her. So it's the hair corsage. Oh, something's happening. Give me a moment. So the hair corsage, we made a uniform for her. I guess the robe is something she needs to replace as well. And then there's nothing I can do about Snake's Tattered Apparel, because that is from a mod that I can't craft anything from at the moment. Everything else, except apparently the cloth toque that she decided to put on. All right, we'll work on the headgear. I did see Nezu was still working on this, so the helmet. The winter robe is an outer layer thing. So, outer layer stuff, we have these 4 things that we can make for them. Now, what's the... I assume the winter robe is just for insulation, mainly. A little bit of armor. So 53 insulation. What about the royal robe? That's actually better. Wow. Okay. And it gives a social impact. So let's make one of these. Nezu, of course, is our crafter, so they can craft it. And maybe make it out of blue cat lily. So blue cat lily is a little bit of a it is a modded plant. It's apparently good for making them look better, so giving additional beauty, that sort of thing. If I go over here, so 130% hit points, 140% sharp. It is really good at protecting against heat, so I guess that 67 would be increased by a lot more. However much 300% will increase it. And a 320% beauty modifier, which is weird because it has a -4 beauty. But anyway, I assume that just means stuff made out of it looks better. Oh, and the caravan animals wandered in. A group of dromedary. Here we are, just off in the corner. What do they have? Got some hay, some medicine, a little bit of cloth, some canned cat food, some catmint canned cat food. Not really anything I'm after, but I guess I can hunt them. We can sell off the rest of the stuff to neighbors or something. I don't know who I have assigned to hunting though. The main cast, so they should be fine. Nico might not. You're feeling sick. Okay. Oh, okay. You're going to hunt. Or hello, new lovers. Dotori pursued Snake by describing her as a beautiful sun. Snake was attracted and is now Dotori's lover. Dotori and Snake now want to sleep together. Consider assigning them a double bed. Alright, well, there we go. This is Snake's room. And we are in the middle of readjusting the rooms, so that should be fine. Let's... furniture. Double bed. How much? We only have 141 bones, so I'm not going to make this one out of bone. How about ebony wood? How much ebony wood do we have? We have 580 normal. I don't see any ebony wood, so maybe I'm just going to make a basic wooden bed. I could make it neo-concrete. I am switching over to kind of a blue and white scheme after all. So let's build that there temporarily. We're also going to need to move the floors because we are swapping them out for the nice green tatami. How are you doing with your hunting? You, didn't? Alright, not sure what happened there. Maybe they got sick on the way out and decided to go back home. Nezu, of course, is feeling better at this point. Okay, I see how it is. They're not the most capable of hunters. Just take one shot and you're like, this is too much. I'm going home. That's fine. I like to let them do what they want to do more often, unless I need something done specifically. I try not to give them specific orders. Your mood isn't... Oh, right, because of all that. Nezu, once you get back, I have a job for you. First... Okay, there you are, right there. What? Oh, they have a backpack on. That's kind of neat. They have a little bit of a graphic on the back of the backpack. But since they are staying in the colony, I need Nezu to convert them. So if you would please, Nezu, go have a chat with Dotori. Oh, wait. I forget that it tells me right here how good the conversion is going to be. So 144% reduction. Okay. Using the convert ability is 800%. Their power is 200%. Seems like a lot, but it's good with me. There we go. Now, they follow our ideology. And so they're less unhappy. They are getting a benefit from some of our stuff. Okay, Dotori. Calm down. This might make some things difficult. So Dotori flirted with Nezu because Dotori is bisexual, I believe, right? Yeah. So they flirted with Nezu by jokingly poking at her sexual preferences. Okay. Nezu became aroused and agreed to become Dotori's lover. They now want to sleep together. Consider assigning them a double bed. Well, I've already we're gonna set Nezu back over here. Snake is going to be here. There. And then this. So just a normal bed. We'll deconstruct this one. And then we'll move this over here. Sorry for doing all this construction while you're asleep there, buddy. What are you doing? are just standing there. Nico, what are you doing? There might be a little bit of a odd problem. Like if I go over here. Not really sure what Nico is trying to do. Nico might be trying to do something that they're unable to. If I cancel this... Okay, that's what it was. They were trying to move the bed. Alright. Quest expired, mineral screening station. That's fine, it was really far away. And I don't have... At what times do I stream? Right now, it is a little variable. But normally, I try to... my work is giving me odd hours, so that's why my streaming schedule is a bit wonky at the moment. But I try to stream at, what would it be? 5 p.m. Central Time. So that would be 6 p.m. Eastern. I try to go for, I try to give my times in Eastern Time, because that seems to be what a lot of people prefer, or can convert to whatever their time is easiest. So I try to stream at 6 p.m. Eastern right now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Occasionally, I do a late night stream when I get off of work during the week if I'm feeling up to it. That only goes for maybe 2 to 3 hours, and that starts at probably midnight Eastern Time at the earliest. So, right now, weekends are the best place to see me streaming. I don't know if my YouTube channel says my current streaming. I'll have to take a look at that when I'm done tonight. Otherwise, I'm also on Twitch, so if you prefer that, that works too. So, like right now, I'm streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. So, basically, choose whichever platform you have better internet service at the time with. I know sometimes some are better than others. And, you know, people have preferences. Some people like Twitch, some people like YouTube. I don't have a preference, so I choose both. But normally I do about 3-hour streams. Rimworld is a little bit of an exception. I try to stream for Rimworld as many hours as my voice will let me. Tonight it's kind of feeling like only about 3 hours. So, excuse me. I'm probably going to go for another half hour here tonight, at minimum. So what time it is now by you? Okay, so right now it would be 8:30 Eastern Time. Wait, is that right? Yeah. So starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, it is now 8:30 Eastern Time. So I started 2.5 hours ago. And that is my normal starting time. Anything else at the moment would be later than that. And of course, I do put all of my streams on YouTube. So if you do miss it, you are welcome to catch up on what you missed there. I know Twitch keeps things around for like a week, so you could watch it there as well. Um, but then they delete it. It's 2:30 a.m. by okay. So I suppose around midnight for you is when I would start my streams. Um, but glad to have you here. Glad that you seem like a night owl like I am. Um, unless of course you're just happen to be up when you're not supposed to be, but you know that happens too. Um, oh, research has completed stone road building. Okay, let's do a bit of electricity research at this point. But yeah, so right now, 4 days a week is all I really have time for, unless I'm feeling like after work. But I suppose um, uh, if it's if I start at midnight Eastern, that would put it at probably 6 a.m. for you. So I don't know if that's when you're awake or not, but like being awake, but you got exams tomorrow. Okay, well, you know, good luck on your exams. I hope you do well on them. But yeah, these are my normal streaming times. As so, right now, streaming is kind of a hobby for me. I'm just doing it to see how things work out and things like that. I've been streaming for almost a year and a half now, mostly on YouTube, a little bit on Twitch. Um, but that doesn't mean that I don't want this to become like a source of income. If it were to ever be that well, I like small groups of people because then I can have a conversation with them. I feel like if too many people show up, then I'm back to just talking to myself and maybe reacting to a few comments that I see. So, you know, if this improves to a larger crowd, I would accept it, but, you know, I like the small crowds. But again, um, I also know that busy schedules or weird time allotments can get in the way. That is one of the main reasons why I do uh, post my VODs on YouTube, is so that you can go there. And while granted, it's not a uh, live session or anything like that, at least then you can see what was missed, and next time you catch me streaming live, then you can have a chat with it, or comments work too. I try to respond to all the comments that are left, uh, and that sort of thing. So I'm doing what I can when I can. Looks like we are ready to add floors in. So let's do that. And then what else is going on? I want to finish one project at a time before moving on to another one. So I want to make sure that these rooms are mostly complete before like working on this corner. This is going to take a while, I think. I'm not sure if I have enough hay to put down all of these floors. Excuse me. One moment. Sorry, just needed to hydrate a moment. Alright. So a few people are going to bed. We're working on the floors over here. I can speed things up a little bit. And I do also want to provoke an entity. Maybe after I buy things from these traders. You think it won't hurt to stay until the end of the stream? Okay. Well, by all means, I am happy to have the company. Alright, so we have some merchants riding in. They look like they are tribal, so I can't really expect too many futuristic things from them, which is nice. Our current speech or social person, that's 12, 8, 9, 1, 8. Looks like Yoko. Let's have Yoko come out here and trade with them. Hold on. What are you doing way down here? Oh. You were hunting. Oh, right, I suppose that's not too far from where this is. Alright, haul that back. We'll get them to talk to these people in just a moment. In the meantime, why are your needs so low? You want human meat, lack of current. I guess it's interesting that the sky high expectations is 0. Like, why would that be? This seems like it's being canceled out by something, and I'm not sure what. But I guess I'm okay with it. Boots are dropping a little bit. Buffed by Snake, ratty apparel, yeah, working on it. Nico's just hungry. They're getting some food. Yoko's chopping up some food. Now, before you do that, Yoko, come over here and trade. Let's see what they have for sale. And I guess more importantly, what they'll buy. Because I have a lot of stuff that I'd like to sell to them. So, camel hide, of course, we don't need. We don't need too many variations of leather. Gonna get rid of the smoke leaf, the ambrosia, the go juice. Oh, you don't want much more. We'll get rid of these two things since Nico doesn't seem to want to wear them. That's still 435. We could buy some meat, but we also just got some dromedary meat, which turns into chicken meat for stackability, since there is no difference between pork and chicken and dromedary and anything like that. They do have some veggie mix, which is nice, but that's expensive. Could get some eggs. Those are also expensive. They kind of work as protein. But we want human meat or humanoid meat. Might buy the wood though. Granted, we're in an area that has plenty of wood, so might not be the best thing to buy. And then the clothing doesn't look like anything I'm interested in. Bioferrite ritual mask, interesting. Does that do anything by being made out of bioferrite? Oh, they don't have anything I want, so I'm just gonna sell them a few things, take the silver. And then let's wake you up. You can get some food. Once your snake wake up as well, get some food. We're gonna do avoid provocation, I think, since we have another layer of defense sitting here. So you're fed, you're fed. Yoko is getting some rest, but alright, alright, we're moving it. You'll say there is an anomaly monster that gives human meat, but I won't say which one or what tier it is. Oh, okay. Well, I will be glad to find it when I do. Let's, do avoid provocation. So, Invoker is probably... I was gonna say probably gonna be Yoko, but I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Oh, right, the person that does it could fall into a coma. Forgot about that. For several hours. Several hours is okay. If I set it to Yoko, 75%, it's probably because the psychic sensitivity is 0. What if I say Dotori? Theirs is 115. As is Elo. Snake is 100. Nezu is 50. Nico is 120. Then we can have up to 4 chanters. So if I do something like this, can I have more? Maximum number is 4. Okay. Does it matter who? No, it seems like a 5% chance either way. Still, a 32% chance to go into shock. I think I'll have Elo do that. Everyone can participate, 33% chance. Hover mouse over the pawn. Oh, is it just directly based off of their psychic sensitivity? Okay. Thank you. I didn't realize... I guess I should have read the factor, their psychic sensitivity. I was thinking this was just a modifier based on their psychic sensitivity. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. We're gonna have Elo do the ritual, because if they fall unconscious, it won't be as bad of a thing as if, say, Yoko did. So, we're gonna provoke the void. And I think we had Elo be the person to do this the first time as well. Gun performing the void provocation ritual. I didn't look to see how long this was going to take. I think it's like 2 hours or 4 hours or something like that. Meanwhile, we have the insect girl just, casually strolling around, wandering through the circle. Nothing can go bad with that. And of course, we have our eldritch slab sitting right underneath it. Only had sandstone to build it with at the time, so that's why it's brown. I'll probably switch it to marble now that we have some extra of that. Or, you know, maybe bone, if I get enough bones. I hope it's the monsters that give human meat. I would like that. But yeah, I'm kind of taking this slow. Uh, I don't feel like there's a rush to it or anything like that. So um, I think this is the second provoking that we've done. And there it goes. Ritual complete. Elo has finished performing the Void Provocation ritual, sending out a psychic pulse that will attract entities. Prepare for what comes next. Well, that's kind of what. Hopefully it happens soon, because these folk are here. Or at least, you know, while they're still on the map. And we're building the floors over here. Making some good progress. Of course, some of these, they've apparently just stopped in the middle of constructing. Maybe that was because of the Void Ritual. I don't know if anyone was working on these at the time. As far as equipment goes, I think we mostly have bows. Like recurve. A base bow is a modified bow. I should really make... Yeah, she didn't pass out. Exactly. So we will still have her... I mean, she didn't pass out, but she did go to sleep. Which is kind of the same thing. Some of these bows are modded weapons. I have a great bow for Nico here. Nezu has a base bow, which is horrible. I should really upgrade that at some point. But if it is combat that we are doing, I do have combat pets, so we should be okay. And so far, all I've needed are sandbags for defenses. So until something goes wrong and like I take a lot of casualties or something like that, or wounds, not necessarily casualties, but wounds, I won't upgrade my defenses. I kind of view it as a Gorehulk assault. I kind of view this as a reactionary thing rather than preemptive, I guess. Alright, Gorehulks. A group of monstrous, human-like abominations are attacking. Their bodies are ravaged by thick keratin spines, which they can launch at a distance. Okay, so they're ranged. However, their fleshy forms can do little damage at close combat. What is the mod name for the storage? This storage is Simple Storage Reborn. I think this is a temporary 1.5 version of Simple Storage. Oh, these are the ones that give human meat. Awesome. I hope I can capture one as well. So the storage mod I'm using is called, the normal one is called Simple Storage. This one is Simple Storage Reborn. It is a temporary 1.5 version of Simple Storage until the mod author of Simple Storage is able to do their own. So I really like this. It makes storage nice and clean. This is one of the larger storage crates, so 25 items can stack in a spot. You can kind of see them just poking out from the sides of the box. They're not supposed to do that normally, but again, this is basically like a temporary 1.5 version of it. But also, as you can see, I've kind of added a mod to let you know where uh, the threat point calculation comes from. So it gives you the points for each of the people, each of the pets, and even Saburo, even though she's in the crypto sleep casket, is adding to that point value. Then it looks like our total wealth minus building wealth divided by 2. So we get 392 points from that. That's added together, multiplied by 1.09, giving us the final result. So I like it because it tells you exactly what is causing the difficulty. You need that because you have so much resources and have to make new places for storage. Yeah, and that's why I've done it. Is I didn't want my rooms to be just one item, uh, one item here, one item here, one item here. You know, filling it. If I click on the box here, there are 46 items in this box. So, a 5 by 5, that's 25. So that would normally be taking up about, I would say, this much space. And again, just like these things over here in the corner, I don't like it just all thrown together. But the current storage boxes don't store packaged items, so these have to be sitting on the ground for the moment. Hope you win. I hope so too. There's 13 of them. They seem to be spiny mutants. Some spines on their back, some on their torso, some on their belly. I like that they have various models. Oh, and this one kind of has like some on its back, like some long hair or something. I don't know. Let's have a look at these guys. Monstrous creature that resembles a massive, painfully swollen human with randomly configured body parts. Near its top is a stretched face that watches its victims with dead eyes. Hundreds of sharp keratin spines protrude from the Gorehulk's skin. It can launch these spines to spear its victims at a distance. However, its awkward fleshy body is less effective at causing harm up close. It's hard to know whether this is a human that was horribly distorted by the influence of the void, or a poor imitation of humanity created from scratch by some evil intelligence. Okay. So melee DPS is 1, so again, not great. Minimum containment strength 60. So I can contain one, just not very well. Unless it's like a toggle, like either you can contain it or you can't. So we'll see. If one survives, we'll definitely capture one. But it looks like they are attacking immediately, which is fine. They might split up through here. New research available. Your discovery of the Gorehulk has yielded new insights. You can now research the following Anomaly projects. Bliss Lobotomy. Oh, and combat music has started. Bliss Lobotomy. Oh, there it is. A surgery that lobotomizes a person, making them happier while rendering them incapable of intellectual and skilled labor. Don't know if I'll use that, but we'll see. We'll see. Luckily, these guys arrived in time. Caravan is still here. The Gorehulks might split up a little bit. They look like they're already taking different paths. Some of them might go this way. Most of them should go this way. Alright, these... Why did you guys stop? Alright, so the majority of them are going through the correct way. These two are coming in for a flank. Which I could probably prevent by putting a wall through here or something. But I just haven't wanted to. Again, I feel like if I can handle the situations I want to before building up defenses. So let's get everyone out here. Dotori with their shotgun is probably going to be one of the big contributors, but also the insect girls are going to have a good part of it as well. I'm actually going to move over here just because we have a caravan here. And I don't want to accidentally hit them because we are friendly with them at the moment. And I know some of these projectiles can go a bit bad. So here's the majority coming in here. Got these two going over here. They've already started to fight those. And then they're coming in here. Ooh, headshot right off the bat. Oh, careful. Don't hit Barca. I may have accidentally hit them. Yeah, accidentally shot them. Oops. Be a little more careful, guys. They've handled the two up there. Somebody is injured and fleeing. No, they're not. They're just down. This guy looks like he was just shot by a couple of his friends. Can't really tell. Another good headshot. Another one downed. So, okay, they are actually fleeing. They just come back after a few moments. They rally. I think we have it covered. But, you know, anything that the our friends here can handle, we'll let them handle it. Guess we can move up a little bit at this point, though. Maybe something like that. Get a good angle on him. Okay. That's been taken care of. So, allow everything. Oh, what? Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them survived. Okay, bleeding out in 6 hours. I don't know if I want an injured one, so like with their... Oh, this one's a dead one. Like this one, left flesh club is cut off, so I'm guessing that's their arm. They took a good hit to the brain, so they're, if they have consciousness, this will make them a good prisoner, I guess, because they won't be able to react very quickly. Not sure what I'm looking for in capturing these things. This one, again, lost their left arm, but they have a lot of injuries. I think I'm gonna go for, was it this one? Which one was it? This one. I think I'm gonna capture this one. Because of the brain injury. So undraft. Nico's our combat specialist, so we're gonna go ahead and capture that one. Everyone else will get back to doing whatever they need to do. And we'll finish off the rest of these. Now, before too much else happens, I am nearing the end of my session tonight. I do need to say, again, these are technically humanoid creatures. I do not know if they are going to be affected by the immortal mod. So these guys may get back up. I hope that they don't. But it is one of those things I didn't want to mess with the configuration because I didn't want to be exposed to any spoilers. So don't be too surprised if one of them gets up for no particular reason. But having handled that, we're gonna imprison this one. I think it said what, 60 containment? There it is. Minimum containment strength 60. So we're gonna do that. Gonna contain them. Oh, also I've added a little bit of a blood mod or what is it? Like ammunition type thing. So anytime they use a gun, actually Nezu, please tend to the gore hole before it bleeds out. So there might be a little bit more blood. As you can see, some of them have a little bit of a bleeding animation. Extract skull or take it off. Not seeing it. Yeah, it looks like I can't really extract a skull. I can't even behead them, which, you know, if I go to this, is an ability that you can do as part of the Immortals mod. I can't even get its skull. Interesting. We might not be able to because of our ideology. I don't know. But we're gonna tend to this guy. No worries. I appreciate it. You know, I don't mind suggestions every once in a while, especially if it's something that I should be doing, and have just missed. I need to click off of that. All right, so they're not gonna. Has life-threatening coma. Oh, I suppose they're not done being tended. Why aren't you? Oh, they have been tended. The things that are left can't be tended. So this is something that's been added by Death Rattle. Excuse me. Apparently, that one is in bad condition. How many of you finished off? You finished off most of them. Cancel that. Hold on. Cancel that. Might need a different one to capture. This one is dead in 9 hours. this one in 3. Okay. So, back to what I was saying. This one has gone into a coma. Death Rattle adds an ability to uh, keep pawns alive slightly longer than just immediately dying. So, like if somebody lost their heart or kidney or liver or something like that, they would go into a death rattle coma. So they would last a little bit of time, giving you a small window in the case of an ally to try to bring them to a hospital, and quickly, if you happen to have like a spare liver on hand, replace a liver to keep them alive. So, I thought it added just a little bit of a neat little thing that you can try to keep someone alive beyond them just dying outright. But I need to get rid of this one. Finish off, maybe? No? Cannot finish off. Higher skill required. Well, Nico. Entity. There we are. Execute. There. We need to do that first. Because, probably because of its brain scar. It's probably too low, or maybe it just had too many wounds and couldn't survive. Let me do that real quick. Just draft you up so you don't go anywhere. Alright, that one's taken care of. Let's capture this one instead. This one has 9 hours. And this one's not going to survive much longer. Okay, so we got that. The assault has been taken care of. Raiders remain. Oh, right, this one that's bleeding out. Got it. Alright, so we capture that one. Can undraft. Tend to the Gore Hulk. And as soon as this one is in stable health, I'll probably end the session tonight. No longer in a shoot frenzy. That's fine. Alright, this one doesn't have any of those major problems, so this should live. Almost got rid of a leg and an arm, though. Okay, no immediate danger. Doesn't look like it's going to go into a coma of any sort. So I think this is where I'm probably going to be calling it tonight. Again, it's been about 3 hours. My voice is kind of complaining. I can feel the scratchiness in the back of my throat. So I don't want to push myself too far tonight. And if things go as they have been, I will probably stream this in the middle of the week once. So, probably Wednesday night at midnight, I guess. We'll see. I might do one stream Wednesday at midnight. But otherwise, this will be back next week at 6 p.m. Eastern. and recently I have completed a couple of other games. So I'm currently looking at what I will replace them with. Uh, Maybe FTL. That seems to be uh, one that people like a lot. I certainly enjoy it. I haven't played it in a while, but I would certainly like to play it again. I know that the people at FTL came out with a second game. I can't remember what it's called. And okay, that's where we're pausing it for this time. Um, but yeah, I do stream other games. Um, Again, if you like the game, by all means, show up, watch, let me know. Um, Otherwise, I do listen to suggestions. Um, I have a look at games that people suggest. I don't always play them because I do have a long list of things that I need to get around to. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I think Worgs have decided to hunt one of my colonists, and that's where we're pausing it. So I hope you enjoyed it tonight, and I will talk to y'all next time. Have a good night.